Today I want to talk about apologies, which is, I believe, a really important part of being humble. And I believe that most of the apologies that we hear out there are not proper apologies. And they started way back when we were kids, when our mother told us, you apologize to your brother or else. And we would do the, oh, I'm sorry. And, behind their back, we'd be making a face or various other things. And as adults, we actually have not done that much better, in my view. Most of our apologies are either insincere. We say, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Or we do something like, well, I'm sorry I called you a jerk, but you just told me my mother was ugly, so you deserved it. Not really an apology. So what I want to talk about is there's three parts to an apology that make it worthwhile. But even before we get into the mechanics of it, the number one thing is sincerity. If you can't be sincere when you apologize, then don't apologize at all. So the first part of an apology is actually owning up to whatever you've said. So even if your husband did call your mother ugly and you did call him a jerk and you wanted to apologize, you could say, I'm sorry I called you a jerk. And that's it. The next piece of it is owning up to how that's affected the other person. I can understand why that would bother you. Or you could say something like, that wasn't a very nice thing to say. And the third part is really about restitution or making things different. So in other words, when you're going forward, you don't turn around and call him a jerk in 5 minutes. And that's where a lot of us get into trouble, is we say we're sorry for doing or saying something, and yet we turn around and do the exact same behavior later. Now you might be thinking, okay, he called my mother ugly. Therefore, shouldn't I have some kind of recourse? And yes, you might want to have a conversation with him at some point about how you felt when he called your mother ugly. Yet it's not the right time when you're apologizing for something that you've done. The only person you can change and the only person you can control is yourself. So you want to be able to be proud of your own behavior. So I really want to encourage you in this next week to look for opportunities to deliver sincere apologies to those who deserve them.